Dear friends, yesterday we have studied the experimental procedure of ASTM, TBP and EFE. Now you understand the importance of experimental procedure and how we are going to collect the data for the design of atmospheric distillation column. This data is very important, but I feel that requires, with this simple particular data, we are going to design a large distillation column operated in petroleum refineries. But that requires the primary information about the boiling ranges of the products, what you are going to get it from the ADU and VDU. So that's why before starting this ASTM to TBP interconversion, I have pointed out some boiling ranges and boiling points of petroleum products that you are going to get it from the crude oil. And then you are going to learn one problem, how we are going to convert ASTM to TBP, ASTM data to TBP data. These are the boiling ranges of petroleum fractions obtained from the crude oil. These are categorized in a tabular form. If you are going to consider the LPG carbon range is started from C3 to C4. C3 is having a boiling range of -42, C4 -8 degrees centigrade, and their applications are heating and cooling. Similarly, for gasoline, it's ranged from C4 to C10. That's why we are considering the boiling ranges, because this consists of C4, C5 up to C10. These are the fractions available in the range from 30 to 180 degrees centigrade, which is used as a vehicle fuel. 30 is called as the IBP, 180 is called as the FBP, that is the final boiling point. IBP is called as initial boiling point. So these temperatures you have to remember, for these are for the purified fractions. These are the boiling ranges. Then for kerosene, it is started from C10 to C14, 150 to 250 degrees centigrade. Gas oil, it is C12 to C18, 250 to 320 degrees centigrade. Residue C20 to C30 above. So that's why you can continue this particular table, and I feel that you can prepare one assignment on these boiling ranges of the different petroleum fractions, because that is the job of our petrochemical engineer, that they required at any time they should remember these boiling ranges of the petroleum products. These are some components I have mentioned here that comes under the boiling points. You know that the boiling point of the water is 100 degrees centigrade. Similarly, what pure components we are going to get it from crude oil, that is methane, CH4. This is the only one component. Earlier we have studied the boiling range, petrol or diesel or LPG, C3, C4. This is the pure boiling point, -16.8 degrees centigrade. Ethane, this is pure component. So we are having only one point, that is called as the boiling point. Earlier it is boiling ranges, because that are the mixtures of carbon molecules. Butane. Similarly, this list is added. Then pentane. This is the structure of this pentane. Boiling points with varying structure, that is normal pentane, isopentane, normal pentane, and these are the boiling points of that one, and respectively they are going to use for the respective purpose. Hexane, it is also having a different structures, normal hexane, 2-methyl pentane, 3-methyl pentane, 2,2-methyl pentane. Depending upon the structure, the boiling points are going to vary, and their applications are also going to vary. Heptane, also having a 3-4 structures, normal heptane, 2-methyl 1-hexane, 3-methyl hexane, 2,3-dimethyl pentane, 2,4-dimethyl pentane, with their respective boiling points. Heptane, 2,2-dimethyl pentane, 3,3-dimethyl hexane, 3-ethyl pentane, 2,2,3-triethyl butane, their respective boiling points and applications. Octane, normal octane, 2-methyl heptane, 3-methyleptane, 4-methyleptane, 2,3-dimethylhexane, 3,4-dimethylhexane, 2,4-dimethylhexane, 2,5-dimethylhexane, their respective boiling points and applications. Octane, it is going to continue in this particular slide. So these slides are I am going to provide you, but in that one you are going to add one column, that is reference number, and add some more components for the boiling ranges and boiling points. This is very, very important. And then you are going to start one problem, that is interconversion of distillation data at atmospheric pressure. In this particular case, ASTM distillation data to TBP at atmospheric pressure. We know that ASTM distillation is very, very simple experimental procedure compared to the TBP and EFP. So to collect the data in the ASTM is very easier than TBP as well as in the EFP. Then if you compare EFP and TBP, TBP is the easiest one compared to the EFP because we are handling with the pressure in the EFP. So handling with the pressure is the dangerous one. So that's why we compare that TBP is the easier to collect the data, that is percent distill against temperature compared to the EFP. Then third, it is EFP. But when you are going to design a distillation column, why you are going to study these interconversion processes? These interconversion processes, when you are going to apply for the design of this, suppose you have collected the ASTM distillation data, then how to use this ASTM distillation data for the design of the ADU, atmospheric distillation unit. So directly we can't use this ASTM distillation data for the design of the distillation unit. We have to convert this to the vaporization temperature, that is equilibrium flash vaporization, EFP points. So if you are going to collect in the ASTM distillation or TBP distillation, these data, that is percent distill against temperature data, we are going to convert it into EFP, that is equilibrium flash vaporization. We called it in short, that is vaporization temperature. So for the design of the distillation column, our requirement is the EFP data. So that's why wherever you are going to collect it, if you are going to have the direct EFP data, then directly you can use that particular data for the design of the distillation column. Or if you are going to perform in the ASTM, if you are going to perform in the TBP, then these data you are going to convert to the EFP, and that data is processed further for the design of the distillation column. So that's why basically in your syllabus, these interconversions methods are suggested for ASTM, TBP and EFP. So Watkins and Van Winkle, both they have suggested the methods for the conversion of this one. So one by one we are going to study that one. Today's lecture we are going to solve one problem, how we are going to convert ASTM distillation data to TBP distillation data at atmospheric pressure. Because in the ASTM distillation data we are going to get the data up to 350 or 400 up to atmospheric pressure. Due to simplicity of the apparatus, that is ASTM, and the experimental procedure, it is convenient to collect the ASTM data. I told you that ASTM is the easiest one compared to the TBP. So it is very, very convenient to collect the data. There are few methods for converting ASTM data to TBP. There are a number of methods, but we are going to learn some graphical method and some slope methods, or for that matter any other distillation data. Initially I have suggested the procedure in general. You are going to read the slides and then we are going to apply this procedure to solve one problem, to understand this, how we are going to convert this ASTM to data. Method based on the slopes. Now we know that we are having the ASTM distillation data, that is percentage distill against temperature. So in the percentage distill, we know that ASTM 50% point is how much it is. From that ASTM 50% point, we are going to find out 50% TBP point from 50% ASTM point. This is given, this is known from experimental data. From the chart, we are going to find out 50% TBP data, that is ASTM distillation data available in figure number 2 that I am going to explain you in the next slide. Estimate slope of ASTM curve by the formula. ASTM data is known to you for percent distill and temperature 10%, 20% up to 90%. We consider that slope will be near about same in the range of 10 to 70. So that's why this we have considered 10 to 70% slope range. Slope means y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. This is the temperature on the y-axis. This is the percentage distill on x-axis. So y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1, that is temperature at 70 degrees centigrade. Percent distill, how much it is? Minus temperature at 10% distill. You are going to report your temperature at 70 degree and temperature at 10 degree divided by 70 minus 10, that is 60 degree. Depending upon, there is no need of the degree Fahrenheit, you can convert it at any unit as per the charts available. Then from figure 1 that I am going to explain in the problem slide, estimate, this is the slope that you have obtained from the ASTM data. From the chart we are going to obtain petroleum charts, estimate 10 to 70% slope of TBP curve. TBP curve you are going to obtain from the charts available. These are the petroleum charts available, given by Nelson, given by Van Winkle, given by Watkins, the methods, the way they are suggested. This is by way of the slope we are going to use, that's why the name is given as method based on the slopes. We are going to identify the slopes at narrow regions also, at higher regions also. 10 to 70 we consider here the slope will be same. Before that 10% we consider that there is a curvature. Above 70% we are considering that there is a curvature. So that's why separately we are going to identify the slope of that narrow regions. So fourth point is, from ASTM curve find out slope of the curve in any short range. Just now I have told you, due to that curvature of that one, you are going to identify for the short range, that is at 10 to 20, 10 to 30, 50 to 70, 70 to 90. Fifth point is, estimate short range distillation slope by equation. We are going to compare with the large with the short range. That is, suppose you have to identify for, this is 10 to 70 is given. Slope of distillation curve of TBP 10 to 70, that just now you have find out from the chart. ASTM 10 to 70 is known to you. But short range, suppose for short range means 70 to 90 you have to identify, or 5 to 10 you have to identify. You are going to mention here slope of distillation curve for TBP in short range, slope of ASTM curve in short range for, this is given, this you are going to identify. When you are going to solve the problem, these things are going to clear it. Here it is noted at Z. We are going to identify the numerical value here. Hence slope of TBP curve in short range is X, that is equal to Zx into slope of ASTM curve in short range. The value of Z is estimated from step number 3. Sixth point is, 10% distillation temperature is calculated. Then after finding out these slopes for the narrow regions below 10% and above 70%, these slope values you are going to consider to find out the other TBP points, 10% TBP point, 20% TBP points. So here it is mentioned that 10% distillation temperature is calculated by equation 10% TBP point equal to 50% point minus 50% you have find out from the chart, minus 40 into X, slope of the respective. Then estimate now 5% point for the narrow region. 5% TBP point minus 10% is equal to 10%. This is equal to 10% TBP point minus 5% into X. In this manner, complete range of 5 to 95 curve on TBP is completed. This method assumes nearly between 10 to 70% distilled in ASTM distillation and neglects curvature if any. One can also start from 50% point and collect data on either side by taking short range of the slopes. So these methods I have explained. These methods we are going to apply in solving this numerical problem. Experimental, this is the problem. Experimental ASTM data is given below for pre-distillation. This is the ASTM distillation data, the way you have performed the experiment and you have collected the data in the laboratory. Percent vaporized, 5% temperature, 5% vaporized, 5 ml quantity, how much is the temperature in degree centigrade. 10 ml quantity you have collected, note down the temperature. So this way 5 to 90, this data is given, this is collected experimentally in the laboratory. 51.7 to 260 degrees centigrade, this is the 90% temperature. Compute means you have to calculate EFP curve from data, because this EFP data is required for the design, that's why these are the methods suggested. Very first point is you are going to convert ASTM data to EFP. and compare it with EFP experimental data. EFP experimental data is reported in the problem. This is temperature in EFP experimental. They are given the answer of the problem. This is experimental values collected. These values you are going to identify by using the charts, and then you are going to compare it. The question what they ask, compute EFP curve, means calculate EFP curve by using the charts and then compare it with this experimental data. So we required similar temperature or near about temperature to this what they are reported experimentally. Then we can say that whatever the charts are available for this conversion, we can use this particular method for the conversion of ASTM data to EFP data. Means there is no need to perform the experiment then. If the data is suitable, perform the ASTM experiment, directly convert by using the charts and use that charts by avoiding the EFP experiment. We know that EFP is under pressure, you are going to perform that experiment. So why to go for pressure distillation as the charts are available? Directly you can use this particular charts by performing the ASTM experiment and convert it into EFP. So step by step we will solve this problem. So here the 50% ASTM temperature is given, that is 183 point, because in the procedure they have mentioned the 50% temperature. Then in the procedure they have mentioned the 10 to 70 slope. 10 to 70 slope means 10% temperature how much it is, 20% temperature how much it is, that is 220 minus 76.7. So this way we are going to identify the slope by using the charts. I have explained on the same slide because I am not going to go back to this particular slide. So first point is ASTM slope. This is from the given data. Temperature 70% minus temperature 10% divided by 70 minus 10. That is 220 minus 79.5 divided by 60, 70 minus 10. That we are going to get 2.39. This is from the given experimental data. In the problem they are given 2.39 degrees centigrade percent distill. From this 2.39 ASTM slope, that is 10 to 70. Here we have to mention 10 to 70. We are going to identify EFP 10 to 70 slope. So that slope we are going to obtain by using the chart, that is graph number. These charts I am going to provide you in a separate sheet. Here also I have mentioned this particular chart, how we are going to refer it. In the bracket I have mentioned how we are going to refer this particular chart. This 2.4 approximately 2.39. Plot 2.4 on y-axis. Go horizontally on ASTM curve. Come vertically on EFP curve. And go horizontally on y-axis to get EFP. So from the chart we are going to get EFP slope as 1.5% degree centigrade per percent distill. Per percent distill, you have to mention very clearly here. This is the unit of this EFP slope. From ASTM to EFP we are finding out by using the charts. The chart is in the next slide. This is the chart. It is not clear here, but in the chart separately I am going to send you. On the y-axis they are given, on the x-axis they are given true boiling point. This is the true boiling point curve, degree centigrade per percent, and on the y-axis they are given the slope of, these are the slope of true boiling point, and this is the slope of different distillation curve. This different distillation curve, that is degree centigrade per distill, this is mentioned here. This is equilibrium flash evaporation, this is ASTM or Sebault, this is ample distillation, this is angular distillation. Now we know that on the x-axis we have the TBP distillation. We don't bother about the TBP, we are converting ASTM to EFP. If you are going to convert from TBP to EFP, then you can use this x-axis. Now ASTM slope is given. So how much it is ASTM slope? 2.4 something. So locate this 2.4. Go towards ASTM line horizontally. This is the ASTM curve. Then you are going to report the EFP. EFP is available not on the x-axis. EFP is also available on the y-axis. These are the y-axis curves. So this is EFP. Go vertically towards EFP. Here you are going to read this on the y-axis, not on the x-axis. Again go horizontally towards y-axis. And then note down the temperature. Note down that particular temperature, that is, this is the slope, that is degree centigrade per percent distill of the EFP. So this way we have find out in the last slide by using this particular chart the slope. After finding out the slope, we are going to identify the EFE 50% point by using 50% ASTM point. 50% ASTM point is given, that is 183. Due to the curvature, we are going to take the average of that one. How to get the average? That is given point plus 10% temperature plus 40% slope. By using average 50% ASTM point, we are going to identify 50% EFE point, but this is also from the chart. Petroleum charts are available. In the examination also, it is permitted to use these charts, because without charts, we can't solve these problems. So this is the average 50% point you have find out by taking help of, as you are going to take the average, it is near about the given point. This is 183 given point. If you are going to take the average, it is near to this 183, that is 177.8 degrees centigrade. So by using this 177.8 degrees centigrade, we are going to identify 50% EFE point. This is obtained from graph number 2. That is also we are going to use this, draw 2.39 slope line of ASTM. This is the slope we have found out in the earlier slide. Go vertically from ASTM 50% point, that is 177.8 degree. Cutting this slope line, go horizontally to y-axis. So we get 50% ASTM point minus 50% EFE point. 50% ASTM point minus 50% EFE point. This is the y-axis. On the y-axis, you are going to get this point 20. So that I am going to explain in the next slide how to get this 20. But remember that your y-axis will be 50% ASTM point minus 50% EFE point. That is equal to y-axis. We know that 50% ASTM point is 177.8 minus 50% EFE point. That is our requirement. And 20 you obtained from the chart. So therefore 50% EFE point is 157.8. See that 50%, if you are going to perform experiment by using EFE, we are going to get the 50% point 157. If you perform by same feed, same crude oil, you are going to get the 50% point 177. Understanding this particular 50% point by using these two experimental procedure. If you are going to aware about the experimental procedure very well, then you will understand why this particular difference is going to come. So that understanding is very, very important, because that happens due to the experimental background, experimental procedure adopting for the same sample. For the same sample, you are going to get in the ASTM 177. Same sample in the EFE, you are going to get 157. The next slide, the chart is explained. So I told you that on the y-axis, we are having the 50% point, distillation 50% point. Distillation means ASTM distillation 50% point minus flash means EFE 50% point. On the y-axis, we are having distillation means ASTM 50% point minus flash means EFE 50% point. On the x-axis, you are having 50% boiling point, that is TBP or ASTM. If you are having a TBP data, you can use the TBP temperature here. If you are having ASTM data, you can use the ASTM temperature here. Slope of, and now we know that the ASTM 50% temperature. Look at the ASTM average 50% temperature here. These are the two lines they are shown, that is TBP and ASTM. ASTM is the dotted line, TBP dark line. These are the TBP dark line. We know that the ASTM dotted line slopes is given. If these lines for the slope they are mentioned 2.78, 3 point, whatever the slope you are having, if it is not here, then you have to draw that particular line by observing these dotted lines. So draw that particular slope line. Locate the 50% temperature on the x-axis, 50% ASTM temperature. Go vertically towards that particular slope. Then go towards on the y-axis. Whatever the points you are going to locate, that is 20 point, it is the difference between ASTM 50% minus EFE 50%. Just now in the last slide I have told you. And from that you are going to identify EFE 50% point. So this way you have to use this particular chart. As the ASTM data is given, you can locate the ASTM temperature. TBP, if you are going to convert to EFE, use the TBP. So these problems you have to practice it. Then after finding out the 50% point and the slope value, that's why the name of the method is given as method by using the slope. So by using this 50% point and slope, both, we are going to identify the other vaporization temperature, that is EFE temperatures, that is EFE 10%. How to find out EFE 10%? EFE 50% point, just now we have found out, minus 40 into EFE slope. EFP slope means that is 10 to 70 slope. Well, so that is 157 minus 40, that is 10 to 70 slope is 1.5. So EFP 10% is 97.8. Similarly, you are going to identify EFP 30%. EFP 50% we are going to consider as a base to find out this 10%, 30%, 70%. This is less than 50%, that's why minus 20 into EFP slope. Here also 10% means 50 minus 40, 50 minus 20. So that we are going to get 10% and 30%. And this is 70%, it is more than 50%, you are going to add plus 20. EFP 50% plus 20, that gives EFP slope. So that is 187 point. This way we are going to identify by using 50% EFP point, we are going to identify 10, near about that one, 10, 30 and 70. But to find out less than 10% and more than 10%, because we have the slope of 10 to 70, that's why it is easier to find out 10, 30 and 70. But what for about above 70? So we have to find out first slope of 70 to 90 for the narrow region. Similarly, to find out 5%, we have to find out the slope of 5 to 10%, and that slope value we are going to use it here by using the same method. So we have find out EFP slope of 70 to 90 by using this formula ASTM 10 to 70 divided by ASTM 70 to 90 is equal to EFP 10 to 70 divided by EFP 70 to 90. So values are substituted and we are going to identify EFP of 70, 90, and this slope value we are going to use to find out the slope, find out the EFP 90% temperature. So this is EFP 90% point is equal to EFP 70% point, just now I find out in the last slide, plus 70 plus 20, that is 90, that is, and just now I find out 70 to 90 slope. So the EFP 90% temperature is 213 degrees centigrade. Similarly for the narrow region, EFP 5% temperature, we are going to identify for 5 to 10, slope of the 5 to 10, same formula, 10 to 70 compared with the 5 to 10, ASTM and EFP. So the EFP slope is find out 10 to 5, that is 3.15, and from this slope we are going to identify EFP 5% temperature. So the EFP 5% point is EFP 10% minus 5% EFP point, that is equal to 82. In the problem they mentioned that you have to compare these values. Compare these values with the experimental. So the EFP experimental value, this is given in the problem. 79.5, 100 to 2.8. These values calculated we have find out by using the charts available given by Watkins. The Watkins book is available in the reference, it is noted down in the syllabus. You can refer that book also. In that one these charts are available. So what we have calculated, 5% temperature, if you are going to perform EFP experiment, you are going to get 79.5. If you are going to identify, you are going to get 82.5. Then 10% temperature 100 by using the chart 97.8, 30, 50, 168, this 157, 70, 190, 187, 90, 212, 213. So comparably 5 to 10% with the percentage difference, we are going to get the near about the same value. So it suggested that without going for the experiment every time, if you are having a simple ASTM distillation data, by using the charts suggested by Watkins Van Winkle and these methods just now what you have studied, you can directly convert this within a 10 or 15 minutes after having a practice, and without performing the experiment you are going to get this data, and this data, EFP data, we can use for the design of distillation column. After finding out the temperatures of EFP by using the charts, we are going to plot this curve, that is temperature degree centigrade against percent vaporized. When you are going to read any chart, first you are going to read the y-axis and then x-axis. Temperature is on y-axis, percent vaporized on x-axis. So these are the three charts. Two charts are for the EFP and one chart is for ASTM. Now you are going to observe these two lines. This is the EFP experimental. If they are asked in the problem, we are going to compare this EFP experimental with the EFP calculated. These are very close. So the 50% point, if it is going to match it, then the other points approximately it matches. These are overlapping. So it is suggested that not, so you can directly use the charts without performing the experiments. Then you have to remember from these two charts, that is, this is the EFP initial boiling point, this is the EFP final boiling point FBP, this is ASTM initial boiling point, this is final boiling point. So this is ASTM initial boiling point, it is lower than EFP experimental point. This is due to the experimental procedures suggested by the method in the last lecture what you have studied. This is exactly opposite final boiling point. Final boiling point is higher in the ASTM and it is lower in the EFP. So that we are going to compare the another TBP point in the next lecture.